everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. We're here today with David Vollmer in a very special place. Now, last March at the Gladiator, it was my first physique competition, I bought an ISOBAG. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, Dave. I didn't know what the ISOBAG or what the difference was. That's what they were selling at the show. So I bought the ISOBAG. I'm like, this thing's going to be handy. Next thing you know, I'm using it. Like, this thing's pretty cool. So I found out there's other brands and stuff, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And next thing you know, Isolator Fitness, which makes the ISOBAG, contacts me and says, hey, what do you think about the product? Do you like the product? And I'm like, yeah. So I start finding out more and more about it. Not only is it a better quality, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into this that I want to let David explain a little bit about it, because obviously it's his company, he knows. But they reached out to me, and here I am today at their factory. We're going to take you guys on a tour of it. So David, why don't you go ahead and tell them what ISOBAG, Isolator Fitness is?
Okay. Well, let's start at the beginning. I used to sell six-pack bags back in the day with them, and had a falling out and saw a demand in the marketplace, and I saw a lot of problems with their product, and it was based on customer feedback. Okay. So the customer said they wanted to see a smaller bag, made in the USA. They wanted to see more containers, and that's exactly what we did.
Made in the USA. That's the big thing that kind of kicked me. I was like, wait a minute. This thing's made where? They're like Pennsylvania, which is like a few hours away from me. That's how I wound up here. So made in the USA, which is probably a big selling point right now.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And the great thing is we can change things. If we find there's a problem with the bag, I walk out on the floor and you'll see you can implement a new change like that, and we stop production, fix it.
Everything is made here.
Everything is made
Everything
here.
From zippers to everything is made here. It's
Yes.
all put together, assembled.
Yep, the containers come in from Canada. We buy them out of Canada. But the ice packs are made in Pennsylvania here, down in Philadelphia. But you'll see the rolls of fabric. We'll pull it off onto the cutter, and they cut the fabric, and then they sew it together.
So everything's American made, which I also noticed that the zippers are very sturdy. They don't feel like they're going to break, and the material itself is super, super sturdy too. And I actually forgot my food in the ISOBAG for about 2 days after I came back from a show once. It was sitting on my thing, and I opened it, and I'm not going to say it was cold, but it wasn't like warm, and I was like, holy shit, this thing lasted like 2 days inside this thing. I think there's 2 ice packs and one in the middle. So I had like 3 ice packs in it, and that thing stayed cold for like almost 3 days.
Yeah, we use an insulation that's out of North Carolina, and BMW uses it in their cars.
I got a BMW.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, let's take a look around and show us some cool stuff that's going on here.
All right, sounds good.
We're just follow him around.
Yeah, we'll start up here. We have a couple embroidery machines for embroidering, and then our main thing is screen printing.
So these are for hats?
Yep, these are hats here. Yep, we're getting ready to embroider them with the Isolator snapbacks and different things that we also offer. Here we have a screen printing press. This was a manual press, started in my basement. With this machine, we could do about 450 pieces a day with the ISOBAG logo, and then we just couldn't keep up.
This does t-shirts, ISOBAGs.
Yeah.
Just do hats too?
No, the embroidery, we do embroidery with the hats there. So once we got to the production capacity that we're at now, 450 units a day wasn't enough.
Right.
So we bought the manual press that's over there, and that does 500 pieces an hour. So that's a big.
I don't know what really that means, but it sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
So now basically, actually, you can see the Bios3 logo right here on the print. So basically, you print the first print, and then you bake it, and that keeps the ink
Yes, you
stable.
have to cure the ink at 330 degrees.
Okay.
Or it stays wet. That's the only way to get it so it hardens
And
up.
if you did another color, you'd actually put it over it. So it's
Correct.
It's the process of overlapping colors.
Yes.
Very cool stuff.
So this is the dryer. So the pieces come through the dryer and they reach the 330 degrees and cures it.
Cool.
So now we can take you back. We'll start at the cutter, show you the raw material. Okay. Here we're out on the production floor. These old machines right here, we'll start walking down this way.
So all these machines are basically what makes the bag.
Yes.
They're being made on the floor right now.
Yes, they're being made on the floor right now.
So if someone orders an ISOBAG right now, someone right now is going to be making this thing and shipping it to them.
Yes.
Like one of these people.
Yeah, I mean, if
So
it's
not somebody like another country somewhere.
No, if it's custom, it's being done today. Like if they ordered it yesterday, we're doing some custom bags today. And then we also build the stock. So we have, you'll see downstairs in the warehouse that we have a bunch in stock. Just
So what can you do custom? You do embroidery, silk screening,
Yep,
stuff like that?
any different colors. We're looking at different color zipper tapes. Really can do anything. We can even make custom bags. I mean, if someone wants to have their own branded different type of bag, we can do that too.
Very cool. Awesome.
So these old machines here, bought them out of a factory in York, Pennsylvania. And what these do is it makes over here we put a 6-foot piece of a roll of fabric.
Yep.
It goes over this arm and it folds and it gets sewn into a tube. Then it gets put onto that machine and it gets re-rolled and slit on a 45-degree angle. And what this does is called biased binding. And what it does is anywhere on the bag, you'll see there's binding that covers up the two pieces that you put together. It puts it on there so it looks nice.
Cool.
Basically, so we use these pieces.
It's for aesthetics or it's for purpose?
It binds the fabric together and it's more for aesthetics as well. I'll show you. Here we can look right here on this backpack. What it does is it puts this binding right here.
Yep.
It just then it doesn't look shoddy.
Cool. Yep.
It just makes it look nice.
Cool.
And then once it's rolled into that tube, it goes onto this machine. This is a slitter, so you can see there's actually a roll of some fabric on there, and we slit it into 1.5-inch rolls like this. So then this gets put through a binding machine, which I'll show you on the sewing machine.
There's actually a lot of stuff that goes into this.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's about 100.
I had no idea. I mean, you get the bag and you're like, hey, I got a bag. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, there's about 110 steps into each one of the bags.
See, so you get a bargain for what you're paying for. Yeah.
Now here, this is our machine shop. What we currently do is we're automating a lot of steps, so we really can compete with China with no problem. We're making panels in here out of aluminum. This is a CNC mill, and this is actually the base of our backpack. So eventually I'll show you another finish clamp where the machines sew automatically. So Gary builds the pieces for that to happen.
Cool.
I want to have one of these run. Now this is a zipper machine. What it's doing is it's taking we have a box of zipper tape. It's 700 meters long. And it's putting the 2 sliders on it and cutting it to the right length of the bag. So this is the top lid of the 3-meal bag. That's what this is for. And these are YKK zippers made in Macon, Georgia.
American made.
I have the guys coming. We're going to show you how this automated. So what he's going to do is he's going to load the pallet, and then he's going to show you how the machine runs automatically and sews the pieces together, so a person doesn't have to do it. Have to lock it down. Then they'll sew this end up as they build the bag. Cool. We designed all of this back here to try to increase our efficiencies in cutting the fabric, because you have to cut it somehow. So we cut it with CNC now. If you look here, these are the gussets that belong underneath the top lid of a 3- and 6-meal bag. So it's a 1.5-inch wide piece of fabric. This is a big picture of a big piece of fabric. So it's cutting it, and it's going to cut all them out as we get going. You can see it'll run in a purple bag right now. So what they do is they stack about 50 layers. So when the knife goes down through it and it cuts it, it's cutting 50 pieces at one time. So this pulls a vacuum. Once the machine's on, it pulls a vacuum so nothing moves. You can't move it, and then the computer just cuts everything. Back here, this is our table. So we can spread fabric about 75 feet long, 50 layers. And this is like an air hockey table. There's little holes. So when you turn on the blower, you can move 4,000 pounds of fabric one guy can with a hand and just slide it right into the cutter. So here's where we have all our rolls of fabric. So everything comes in, and then across here is the insulation. That's out of North Carolina. Now we do buy the fabric from China. Right now we're having a hard time finding the type of fabric we use to be made here in the U.S. due to the EPA regulations and stuff like that.
Now, when you decided to do the ISOBAG, like, did you already know what equipment to buy?
No.
Where to go? I mean,
I'm a wildlife biologist by trade. So it just was one step at a time. I mean, you know, we tried to buy some bags from China. They were complete garbage. And then I started making them in my house. We made the first one. I made it in my garage in Christmas Eve of 2012.
Cool.
So, and then we just moved in here in February of 2013. It just was one step at a time. And hired some great people that know how to sew, and you know,
started cranking them out.
Started cranking them out.
I was gonna say, like, if I decided, hey, I'm gonna make some bags, I wouldn't know where to get this machine or any of this stuff. I mean, you know, like I said, I had no idea this much went into these bags.
Yep.
Now I look at my bag, it's like it's a lot more valuable to me right now than it was like before I walked in the door.
In here next, after the pieces are cut on the machine, you come in here. This is inventory. Every single piece of every single bag is sitting in here, and it's all managed. Like you'll see barcodes here, so we know how many pieces are here. Right. So there's about 25 pieces in a stack. So this is the under the water bottle holder of a 3 and a 6 meal bag. Okay. So what we do is we try to keep 2 weeks worth of stock of every style of bag here in case the cutter goes down. Because it takes time to get the technician in and stuff like that, so the ladies can keep working. So we don't have any downtime.
Man. And how many square feet is this facility?
The whole facility is 250,000 square feet. Right now we're occupying about 35,000 square feet.
About the size of the house I'm buying. So, you know. Man, this place is gigantic. I know I've said that like 10 times.
Yeah. Wait till you see it. It's like it keeps getting bigger.